சனிதபமக வெல்க பாரதம். லோகா சமஸ்தா சுகினோ பவந்து. Do not worry, my speech notes are not in reverse, but these words are uttered at the end of all rituals, satsangs and spiritual activities in our dharma. Now, why should we care about the entire world when we are but tiny mortals entangled in this troublesome body and mind? We do it because samastha loka, or the entire works, are nothing but God to us. பல்லாண்டு பல்லாண்டு பல்லாயிரத்தாண்டு பல கோடி நூறாயிரம். Periyalvar is blessing Mahavishnu. Perhaps this is the only religion where the devotee blesses the deity. The devotee is a deity in our culture, and thus the Mangala Charanam of Vishnu Sahasranama. Vyasaya Vishnu Rupaya Vyasa Rupaya Vishnave Namo Vai Brahmanidaye Vasishtaya Namo Namaha. The Vishnu in the form of Vyasa and Vyasa in the form of Vishnu, and to them I provide my prostration. Thus begins the most venerated Vishnu Sahasranama. 1,000 names of Lord Vishnu uttered by Bhishmacharya. These holy names are not compiled by mere human beings. They have been formulated based on Vedic principles, and those principles in turn are the product of divine knowledge expounded by our rishis. Even the devas chant these names, and Bhishma is delivering them for the benefit of our mankind. Rishi Bhifpariki Tani Tani Vakshyami Bhutaye, meaning even the rishis are being benefited by these namas. This is the reason our ancestors have used the Vishnu Sahasranama in various pujas and yajnas. A fruit-bearing tree in the middle of a village feeds the hunger of millions of birds. Similarly, Shriman Mahavishnu bears the fruits to satiate the hunger of all beings. Bhurbhuvas, that is the definition given by the great Vaishnavite Saint Parasara Bhattar, signifying that the Lord Mahavishnu is the omniscient tree that spans the three worlds. Further, Parasara Bhattar says, Vishnu is like the butter that exists homogeneously in milk and curd. This explanation comes forth when Bhattar explains the meaning of the Nama Tattva. Sri Adi Shankara has written a treatise for Vishnu Sahasranama. The incident through it happened is a divine miracle. Originally, Shankara wanted to write the Bhashya for Lalita Sahasranama. So he beckoned one of his disciples to bring the palm leaves manuscript containing Lalita Sahasranama. But the disciple brought the Vishnu Sahasranama manuscript. Acharya thought this was a careless mistake and asked him to bring the proper manuscript once again. Again the disciple brought the Vishnu Sahasranama manuscript. Now Shankara admonished his disciple and asked for a third time to bring Lalita Sahasranama. Yet the student brought Vishnu Sahasranama again. Shankara asked, "Why are you doing like this? What is wrong with you?" The disciple replied, "There is a resplendent maiden inside the ashram and Guru, and every time she is giving me Vishnu Sahasranama and insisting that I give it to you." Shankara immediately got up and rushed inside. The mother of the universe, Adiparashakti, Sakshat Adiparashakti herself, was sitting inside the ashram, and she told she would be much better pleased if Shankara rather wrote a treatise on the names of her brother instead of hers. And Shankara accepted her divine will. This is the incident behind the creation of Adi Shankaracharya's Vishnu Sahasranama Bhashya, a wellspring of Brahma Vidya. We understand that our universal mother would be pleased if we chant the Vishnu Sahasranama through this incident. Vishnu Sahasranama is not just a bunch of titles. Shankara quotes a shloka from Mahabharata while extolling the glory of the Sahasranama. There are 4 ways in which a jiva can attain liberation. Chanting the pranava till the last breath is one way. Chanting Sri Rudram of the Yajurveda is another. Living in Kashi is the third way, and for those who cannot follow any of these, there is a fourth way. Chanting the Vishnu Sahasranama with total surrender is a fourth way to get rid of all the sins we commit in this Kali Yuga. Vishnu Sahasranama is the moksha hetu, or the instrument of liberation, and that is the reason why it is placed in the moksha dharma part of the Mahabharata. Even sannyasis have to chant Vishnu Sahasranama at least once a day. Even today, Shankara qualifies Vishnu Sahasranama as Japa Yajna. Parasara Bhattar agrees with him and confirms that the chanting of these holy names is equivalent to the practice of great Vedic yajnas like Vajapeya and Soma yajnas. There are no restrictions whatsoever for chanting Vishnu Sahasranama. Everyone, including women and children, can chant this. And since this is the universal dharma, Bhishmacharya considered this as the most prominent dharma. Ko dharma sarva dharmanam bhavatah paramo mataha. Therefore, we need not deliberate amongst a multitude of deities and their methods. Instead, we can take the path to liberation shown by Bhishma without a shred of doubt. Most of the instruments of liberation are designed to keep us comfortable in this world, gradually increase our vairagya, and finally ensure the liberation. Vishnu Sahasranama clearly provides worldly comforts in a plentiful manner. The great medicinal text Charaka Samhita mentions that the chanting of Vishnu Sahasranama while preparing and taking medicine. From the books of great poet Bhana, we gather that it was a common practice to conduct Vishnu Sahasranama Parayana in the house during the time of childbirth. It is a common tradition throughout our country to chant Vishnu Sahasranama in houses and villages for warding off evil spirits and beings. The Mantra Shastras confirm the effectiveness of this practice. A healthy body, a long life, and a painless death are the proven products of a lifelong chanting of this text. This will protect us from failure and insult from both our friends and enemies. Bhajanti ye pushkaraksham nate yanti parabhavam. This will add glory everywhere to the person who chants it and even to his clan. Machaf prapnoti vipulam. It will increase our bountiful wealth. Achalam shriyam apnoti. It will remove ailments, and on top of everything, nabhayam kochitapnoti. It will prevent every sort of fear and worry from affecting us forever. Sri Mahavishnu is omnipotent. He is the Lord of the universe and God of the gods. He is without beginning and end. He is attached to Vedas and austerity. He is the one who decides the birth and death of all jivas. Lokanatham Mahadbhutam. He is the purest of the pure, omnipresent, and is the end of all asuras. He sits in the pearl-adorned throne upon the ocean of milk with his feet on the earth. The entire winds of the universe are his breath, sun and moon are his eyes. The direction are his ears. The celestial Devaloka resides in his head and in his abdomen churns all the mighty oceans of existence. Vedasura Bilasa Chandra Surya Uchanetre. He is the embodiment of peace that rests upon the great serpent Adisesha. Bhuta Vahana. Achyuda, Anaka, Ananta, Anala, Akirvana, Aniruddha, Anila, Aparajita, Amoga, Akshobhya, Aditya, Adideva, Ishvara, Udbhava, Prajapati, Vayuvahana, Vasudeva, Vishwayoni, Savita, Sagishnu, Sugata, Suparna, Kshama, Hiranyagarbha, Ajaha, Padmanabha, Madhava, Satya, Ameyatma, Prasaknatma, Vishwatma, Sureshwara, Chakragadadara, Punya, Pavana, Vikrama, Sridhara, Shrikara, Shreya, Ashoka, Lokasaranka, Udbhava, Sundara, Kumuda, Kuntara, Sarvatomuka, Vanamali, Tarunaya, Srivatsavakshasena, Srinivasa, Anisha, Vishoka, Keshava, Trilokatmana, Dhananjaya, Anamayayan, Satyanarayana, Chalayan. He is the cause for the existence of Dharma, Artha, Kama and Moksha, the four goals of our life. Sri Vishnu is the spinner of the great wheel of samsara, and he is the end goal of the yoga sadhana of all yogis. being the creator of Vedas, his ever merciful eyes, unlike lotus flowers, emanates the fragrance of Daya, and Sri Mahalakshmi, attracted like a bee, eternally resides in his heart. The combination of the Supreme Lord and his better half culminates as the Maya or natural existence, and so he is the Lord of the entire natural existence. He intercedes to remove the fear in the heart of virtuous souls and also creates fear in the hearts of wrongdoers. He is the embodiment of auspiciousness. He is the Adisesha. He is the ocean of milk, and he is the Lord that lies upon them. He reminds the unfathomable meaning of the Omkara, and Vishwam Vishnu means the entire existence is Vishnu. We must infer that we must be worshipful to all beings because of this. Vaginal padi manathinal sindithu, said Andal. Therefore, all our sins will be cremated in the most holy fire of Vishnu Sahasranama. Idam tute guhyatamam pravakshyam yena suyave jnanam vijnana sahitam yajnatva mokshase shubhat. Bhagavad Gita 9th chapter, 1st and 2nd. This is the technique of techniques, the esoteric of the esoteric, the most holy and purifying objective experience, yet the very easiest dharma to practice, and it is eternal. Oh Parantapa, poor souls deviate from this, move away from me and re-enter the cycle of samsara and death. These words are absolutely fitting to the context of Vishnu Sahasranama. Ayurveda text suggests this as a cure for physical and mental disorders, while Jyotisha text recommends it for removing the maleficent effects of planets. Dharma Shastras have regulated Vishnu Sahasranama as penance and for negating bad omens such as nightmares. It is for this reason that in early days children were asked to rote this by heart. Let us bring back this practice and let's make a vow today to learn Vishnu Sahasranama with its meaning. May Sri Krishna Paramatma, the omnipotent embodiment of all that is auspicious, grant us this boon. We do not need any other support, neither spiritual nor worldly, than Vishnu Sahasranama. Let's all chant Vishnu Sahasranama individually for eternal unity, peace and prosperity. Madhavaya, Madhavaya, Keshavaya, Mangalam. Marizani Daba Maga Velga Bharatam.